What's up, Guardians? I'm Profane, and thank you as always for checking out the video. The Wolfsbane is the newest exotic that's been added to Destiny. Bungie wants you to believe that this is a sword, but it's anything but that, and in all due respect, this might be the most unique and interesting exotic that Bungie's ever made. Nothing about this sword is ordinary, starting with its design, because this has more characteristics of an axe than it does a sword, and when it comes to its physical animations, it takes inspiration from the axes that are created from Twilight Arsenal and the Scythe relic that was first seen in the Season of the Haunted. As is the case with most exotic swords, this weapon has some unique movement tech. When standing on the ground, you have your light attack, which makes you look like you're chopping a bunch of wood, and then you have your heavy attack, which slams the axe into the ground. When you're in the air and perform a light attack, you'll do a spin move with the axe, and that propels you forward, sort of like a watered-down version of Eager's Edge. And when you perform your heavy attack while in the air, you'll drop straight down, embedding that axe into the ground. When you have sword energy available, heavy attacks will send forward a path of solar energy. When this weapon is in its charged up mode, heavy attacks will create an additional cyclone of solar energy, similar to what you would see out of the Pyrogale gauntlets, and this will scorch enemies, which means you can increase that effect by using the Ember of Ash's solar fragment, and since that will help build up ignitions faster, Ember of Char would come in handy. You can activate its overcharged mode by holding in on the reload button, and you can activate this even if the weapon is out of ammo. You'll even get some extra ammo to play with. This is the only weapon in Destiny that lets you preview its charged up mode from your menu, something I'd love to see included with other exotics and gear. This is a craftable exotic. It comes with several customizable intrinsic and refit options, some of which have not been released yet, but we do get the benefits of attrition orbs right now, which generates orbs of power on sustained damage, and that can be extremely cohesive with a lot of class fragments and armor mods, including weapon surges. Once they've been made available, you'll have the option to trade out attrition orbs for Relentless Strikes, Burning Ambition, or Subroutine Recursion. Relentless Strikes would give us a means of generating extra sword ammo, which would go great along with a tempered edge blade. Burning Ambition would increase our damage whenever using this against tankier enemies, as it would apply Scorch, and that would get amplified with the use of Ember of Ashes and Ember of Char. But Subroutine Recursion has the most synergy with this weapon's intrinsic and basic traits. With this weapon's intrinsic trait called Resurgent Directive, rapid hits and final blows with this weapon create Quicksilver Nanites. Nanites will provide a small amount of bonus health, and as we create nanites, we'll build up the energy that we need to activate our charged up mode. With Subroutine Recursion, nanites will provide bonus health regeneration, and they'll build up our charged mode faster. And when we're in our charged up mode, taking damage from any source will generate additional nanites. As we continue to use this weapon, we'll activate the benefits of Tenacious Handle, which provides us with bonus damage resistance, and as you upgrade the handle, the strength of that damage resistance grows. Because this weapon performs more like an axe than it does a conventional sword, there's no blocking feature available, but the bonus healing and damage resistance will more than make up for that. The Titan exotic called Stronghold has synergized with every single legendary and exotic sword until Wolfsbane. This exotic provides improved shielding whenever using the blocking function of a sword, but since there's no guarding with Wolfsbane, there's no synergy to be had with a Stronghold, which was a bit of a letdown. But Titans can find plenty of synergy with this sword when using the Syntheseps and Strand Banner of War. When you have a teammate running Ergo Sum, Wolfsbane will receive Wolfpack rounds, just as any other sword would, which can be a great option to increase this weapon's damage output. There's several armor sets that will work out really well with this exotic, but the Bushido set offers the most benefit, as this provides 35 points of HP when defeating enemies with a freshly drawn weapon. And with a 4-set bonus, you'd receive 10% extra damage resistance after defeating enemies with Wolfsbane. When Warlocks use Wolfsbane, with the Weaver's Call aspect, you'll periodically create Threadlings, as you deal damage with Wolfsbane. Threadlings would normally be created when casting your class ability, so this gives a backdoor method to create those. And if we were to throw in the Swarmers, we'd be able to unravel enemies at the same time, adding in a great deal of bonus damage. And that would help us play into the use of the Pack Tactics artifact mod, which increases the damage of Threadlings, and gives them the ability to stun unstoppable champs. When hunters use the Wolfsbane with the Ascension aspect, you'll be able to generate additional nanite charges just by performing your Ascension, which will let you build up that charged up mode faster. And when you are using the Wolfsbane and you have a teammate using the Outbreak Perfected, you'll gain bonus damage with both the Wolfsbane and the Outbreak Perfected, providing both weapons with around 12% bonus damage once nanites start attaching. This will be an effective weapon against most every enemy type, but there are some drawbacks to using this against Dread, as this weapon deals about 40% less damage to this enemy race. This exotic creates some interesting reactions out of certain enemies, as you'll notice some enemies will dodge away from you after you've defeated a nearby enemy. So there's a lot of useful and fun interactions that you'll have when using the Wolfsbane. Not all of these are by design though, so I would expect to see some of these get patched in the future. But if there's any other secret interactions that we didn't talk about today, then be sure to let us know what those are down in the comments, and let us know what your thoughts on this new exotic are. That's going to wrap things up for today's video, but thank you as always for checking it out. If you enjoyed and found it helpful, then be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated, and both really do help support the channel. And so does being a member, so a big shout out and thank you to all of our channel members. And until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.